Chapter 1. Flames of Defiance. The first shot rang out at dawn, a single crack of defiance that shattered the morning mist over the Bulgarian hills. It was April 20, 1876, and the air smelled of damp earth and gunpowder. The rebels had been planning this for months. Whispered meetings in taverns, coded messages passed between villages, the slow, steady gathering of men who had decided they would rather die free than live under the Ottoman yoke. The Ottoman Empire had ruled these lands for centuries, but the grip had loosened. The Bulgarians, long oppressed, had begun to stir. And now, in the shadow of the Balkan mountains, they were rising. The first village to fall was Koprivnica, a small place, barely a dot on any map, but its people were fierce. They had gathered in the central square, armed with whatever they could find: hunting rifles, scythes sharpened to blades, even pitchforks. Their leader, a former schoolteacher named Paniat Hidov, stood atop, a wooden barrel, his voice carrying over the crowd. "Brothers," he cried, "today we take back what is ours." The rebellion spread like wildfire. From Koprivnica, it moved to Panegyrish, then to Karlovo. The Ottomans, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. But the Bulgarians were not waiting. They burned tax records, seized Ottoman officials, and declared their independence. And then came the retaliation. Ahmed Muhtar Pasha, the Ottoman governor of the region, was a man known for his ruthlessness. He had risen through the ranks of the empire's military, earning a reputation for efficiency and cruelty. When word reached him of the rebellion, his response was swift and brutal. "Crush them," he ordered. "Leave no trace of their defiance." The Ottoman forces moved like a storm across the countryside. Villages that had dared to rebel were burned to the ground. Men were executed in the streets. Women and children were rounded up, their fates left to the mercy of soldiers who had none. The world watched in horror. Reports of the atrocities spread, carried by journalists and diplomats who had seen the aftermath with their own eyes. The Bulgarian April Uprising, as it came to be known, had failed in its immediate goal of freedom, but it had succeeded in something else. It had exposed the true face of Ottoman rule, and it had set the stage for a trial that would echo through history. The trial of Ahmed Muhtar Pasha would not come for 2 years. By then, the rebellion had been crushed, its leaders executed or exiled. The empire had regained control, but the damage was done. The world had seen the butchery, and it would not forget. The trial itself was a spectacle. Held in Constantinople, it drew international attention. Journalists from Europe and America filled the courtroom, their pens poised to record every word. The prosecution painted a picture of a man who had ordered massacres, who had turned villages into graveyards. Muhtar Pasha, for his part, remained defiant. He was a soldier, he argued. He had done what was necessary to preserve order. The rebellion had been treason, and treason demanded punishment. But the evidence was damning. Eyewitness accounts, letters, even the testimony of his own officers painted a picture of a man who had not just allowed atrocities but had ordered them. The verdict, when it came, was a shock. Muhtar Pasha was acquitted. The empire, it seemed, would not turn on one of its own. But the trial had already served its purpose. The world had seen the truth, and the seeds of accountability had been planted. The trial of the century had ended, but the fight for justice had only just begun. To be continued.